everybody, my name is Python and welcome back to the Let's Play. Yep, this has happened since the last episode. I managed to capture another villager zombie. Quite what we're going to turn him into, I'm not entirely sure just yet. Although saying that, maybe a cleric, so we can sell the rotten flesh we get from the hostile mob drop farm we got on our mansion. Anyway, it is a rainy day here on episode 14 of the Let's Play, but we're not going to let it dampen our spirits. Only today, my friends, we're going to work, finally, on a mansion room. We're going to kick things off with an enchant room. And where we're going to put it is in one of the rooms on the tippity top floor. So yeah, got some cool stuff to come today, my friends. But the first thing we're going to do is a little bit of fishing rod action. Only 32 levels, I seem to recall, was the amount of levels required in order to combine these two mid-spec fishing rods together to become a top-spec fishing rod. The only thing we need to get on this thing now is mending. But there we are, 32 levels, completely wiping us out of XP. The big question is, just how much would it cost for us to put mending on? Wait, really? Only 5 levels? Bro, we can actually do that, like, right now. All I need to do is head on over to my hostile mob drop farm, right? And just farm those dudes out for a little bit. While we do so, it gives me an opportunity to say a massive, massive thank you for all of your lovely support. As always, my friends, I really appreciate all of the love in the form of the likes and the comments, subscriptions, and even just you folks watching these videos. It really does mean the world to me. So yeah, we've put the fires out, therefore turning this into manual mode. All we gotta do is play the waiting game a whole bunch, getting ourselves up to only 6 levels from 0. Really shouldn't take that long, should it? Oh, yeah. This is something I've done since the last episode, by the way. I actually decided to go ahead and figure out the second floor rooms. And I've also added in a water elevator right there and a little bit of a drop chute here for easy access between the first and second floors. I figured that was a good idea. And as you can see, this area feels a whole lot more enclosed. And somehow, as a result, quite a lot more cozy as well. I think I mentioned before that along these walls here, what I'd really like to do is add a whole bunch of storage chests. Basically, storing only the things that we get from this farm. So we can have banks of chests for zombie flesh, banks of chests for bones, and all that kind of stuff. Maybe we could throw a few cleric villagers along this wall here as well. I think that'd be a good idea, actually. Do you know what? While we're waiting for some dudes to fall down into the hostile mob drop kill chamber, why don't I give you a little bit of a guided tour of the second level here. I think we'll go in like a clockwise direction and we'll see what is going on. So as you can see, we've got ourselves the staircases obviously coming through here. We made those in the last episode, but all along we've got ourselves a whole bunch of 2x1 rooms. There's a few corner rooms in some cases, and then back here is a whopping 3x3 room, which is enormous. Then, if we head on in here, there's quite a lot of carpets going on, and that's because these are the staircases going from the second floor up to the final floor. And then we've got this area here, where above it is the sort of room where the staircases converge to get onto the third layer. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here. And I don't know about you folks, but this area is kind of screaming like walk-in wardrobe vibes. I think we could squeeze in a whole ton of armor stands upon which we place ourselves a whole bunch of different sets of armor that have different armor trims on them. But anyways, continuing round and past the 3x3 room, we've got ourselves yet another corner room, then another 1x2 room. We've got ourselves a little 1x1 room here. Quite what we're going to put in here, I've no idea just yet. But anyways, moving around, another 1x2, and over here, yet another 1x2. Over here, another 1x2. There's a lot of 1x2s, but then we've got this room here, which is actually a 2x2. So, yeah, this one's actually fairly decently sized, isn't it? So, that's the tour of the second layer. And only 2 dudes have dropped down here. I suppose we could do this the old-fashioned way Little bit of a mob rampage, anyone? Feel like it's been a while since we've done that. Come on, get out of here, sunshine. We're looking for 6 levels, and there we are. Done already. Now I can set this back to automatic mode. And here we are with the mending on the fishing rod. We're just going to call this the God Rod. Because why would we not? You literally cannot get a better fishing rod if you tried. Now, I know, some of you folks might disagree with me using my only remaining mending book on a fishing rod, but here's the thing. This thing is now basically infinite, right? And we've got Lock of the Sea and Lure. So, what that means is we should be able, being the operative word, we should be able to capture ourselves even more treasure even quicker now. That's the hope at any rate. Oh, like that, is it, Minecraft? Is it a little bit of a zombie siege night or something? Wait, what the heck? There's loads of these dudes. Right, baby zombie, you are a troublemaker and you need to go bye-byes. Oh, I actually really wanted to try and get that villager zombie there, only to have 2 villager zombies in reserve would be quite something, actually. The only thing I can think to do here is to just get this guy in the same boat as this existing villager zombie. So, here we go. Oh boy, this definitely isn't going to be a pain, is it? And is that guy in the boat now? Yeah, he is. It just means at some point we're going to have to find a way of separating these villager zombies so we can cure them and not have one reinfect the other. Oh yeah, I never actually showed you where I'm going to be putting the enchanting room. So, up the stairs we go to the 3rd and final level. What we're going to do... What were you doing in there? And why have you got a grass block? Anyway, the room we're going to put our enchanting setup in is right here. A nice little 1x1 area. It has a 7x7 interior floor space, which is more than enough to host an enchant setup. And considering the height of the room as well, I think we can make this into like a mini makeshift library complete with chiseled bookshelves. And those bad boys can host a variety of different enchanted books, right? So to kick things off, let's get the actual enchant setup placed down. There we are. And then we're going to see if we can't figure out how to work with the space here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a staircase either side going up round a corner up to like a tippity top point here, and then we're going to have ourselves kind of like a mezzanine or a raised walkway, and then along the walls we're going to have ourselves a whole bunch of chiseled bookshelves. Do we want to mix in chiseled bookshelves with regular bookshelves for a little bit of texture variation as well, though? I mean, kinda. Alrighty, let's figure out this stair situation, eh? I think we're just gonna go up into the corner and then turn a corner. I'm trying to do this in such a way that these stairs don't block the windows. As you can see, I think we've actually done a fairly okay job of that. Ah! What the? Ah! Okay. What on earth is happening? Wait, I didn't accidentally look at him, did I? Oh, goodness me, I hope not. So here we are at the top layer, just in the process of adding the walkway. Some upside down stairs here and there, I think, go quite nicely. So this would be the walkway, and then, yeah, the chiseled bookshelves and bookshelves would go all along here. I reckon we could go one further with this whole thing, though. What if I was to have some nice sort of corner supports? Like if I was to get rid of these bookshelves, maybe relocate them. In the meantime, we place down some of these going all the way up. Then yeah, it kind of feels like this upper part is fully supported, right? It's a bit more realistic, I think. Alrighty, my friends, I think I've got some cool things going on here. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... We've got 7, 8 in the corner, 9, 10 back there, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This should be a level 30 standard enchant setup. It is indeed beautiful. Then we've got all these little supporting pillars holding up the sort of attic room up there. And back here, I thought it would be a cool idea to have a little bit of shelving, upon which maybe we can have a chest, or maybe a chiseled bookshelf containing sort of the higher end, most useful enchanted books. Maybe a crafting table, all that kind of stuff. And then, yeah, to the sides, we have ourselves the staircase going up to the attic area. And now we have the fun task of doing a little bit of sort of random placing of some of these here bookshelves. Yeah, buddy. All right, let's do one there, one there, one there, one there, and one there. And all the rest of them can be regular bookshelves. Then we've got a nice amount of texture variation between empty bookshelves, fully populated chisel bookshelves, and then these ones right here as well. I think this attic is going to be really quite nice once it's all up and running. One thing I do think I need to do, though, is maybe Python-proof this area in that, yeah, as you can see, we could just fall off there. And while we don't take damage, it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of just like a sheer edge, isn't it? So what if I was to do that instead? A little bit of trapdoor railing action. I mean, as you can see, we can still, you know, walk around here. Granted, it's a little bit maybe claustrophobic, perhaps, but I don't know. I think it works quite nicely. So how about it, my friends? A nice attic with plenty of storage space for eventual enchanted books. Maybe even just regular books as well. I don't know. Maybe eventually we start keeping journals of the places we've been and maybe ideas for future projects and all that kind of stuff, right? Now, obviously, we can't go having a room inside of a mansion which belongs to the Flower Pot King without having flower pots in there. So as you can see, we've got a few dotted around the place, and we've got ourselves a slightly more interesting looking ceiling shape now, which is nice. So yeah, all we've got to do now is figure out this bottom area here. I was thinking of dangling a lantern from down here, and then as you can see, we've still got ourselves a very, very nice looking view out here. Then, I think we're going to start needing things like ender chests, barrels, all that kind of stuff down here. And you know what? To really tie off the place, I know this might sound like a bit of a random suggestion, but why don't we put a little waterfall in the corners? I thought that'd be a nice way to go. In my opinion, water spruces up any build. And then alongside the water, maybe we could have ourselves a flower pot or two, or maybe we could squeeze ourselves even more storage space in here. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of claustrophobic enough as it is. So I don't think I want to go too much further in terms of sort of overcrowding this. But at the same time, I don't know, man. I feel like the more storage we have in our enchanting room, the better things are gonna be, he says, as he's going the flower pot route. Yeah, okay. I mean, to be honest, I think we've got plenty of storage space anyway. Upstairs, we'll put ourselves some on these shelves up here as well, and then I dare say we could dot a couple of bits and bobs on top of these here bookshelves as well. I won't lie, there is kind of a part of me that wants to see about trying to squeeze in something secret underneath these staircases, but unfortunately, I can't see a world where that would be able to happen without me sacrificing, you know, having a level 30 standard enchant setup, right? So, I think, I know this is kind of lame, but I think we're just gonna have to fill this in. Normally, I like to try and make the most out of the amount of space I have, but no, we're just filling this in. Alrighty, my friends, just a few little bits and bobs left to do in the enchant room to finish it off. We're going to have ourselves some nice pink cherry saplings inside of some of the flower pots, just to add a bit more colour to the build. We've got the water buckets for the waterfalls, then some lapis, so we can actually enchant there. Then we've got ourselves a bunch of lanterns for lighting. Then to add to the more mystical feel of an enchant room, I think we're going to put a spore blossom or two in there, add some little magical particle type effects. And then to really go above and beyond with the particle effects, what say we grab ourselves, I don't know, like one of these and hide it somewhere in the enchant room. Do you know what? I've got the perfect location to put these firefly bushes we were wanting to have some kind of use for those under the stairs corner areas, right? We filled them in, but there's nothing stopping us from hollowing it back out, having ourselves some firefly bushes in the corners, right? Oh, dude, that's actually a genius idea, though. All right, well, let's try it, let's say, under here. Question. Does hiding the firefly bushes under a block also silence them? Only, I hope so, otherwise we're going to have a semi-permanent buzzing sound around here, right? All right, let's give it a go real quick. So we'll get the grass placed down. Then goes the firefly bushes. And there we are. Oh, look at that. We've already got the firefly particles going around here. Wow. Okay. This actually works really quite well in terms of, you know, making this room feel a bit more sort of mystical and magical. Let's add some particle effects too up here as well. And then we need to start getting rid of some of these here torches and replacing them with some good old lanterns, because they just look better in my opinion. But yeah, we're going to go down here. One lantern down here. Are there any stray torches that we need to get rid of, or is that it? I think that might actually be it. All right, let's get rid of this crafting table because we don't need it anymore. Let's bring up the light levels here. Yeah. Do you know what? I think we're actually totally fine. Now for the waterfalls. There we are, looking very, very nice, I have to say. Now we can go at it with some colour, with these little cherry saplings and various other bits and bobs. Maybe we could put some of them up here as well. And there we are, all flower pots filled up, my friendos. Oh, wait, no, hang on a minute. There's one up here. There we are. Can't go doing things by half measures now, can we, my friends? Right, so, yeah, there we are. That's actually looking pretty good. The only remaining thing to do, really, here is to try and squeeze in an ender chest somewhere. To be fair, up on this top center shelf here probably would be a good area to put an ender chest, right? Hang on a minute. I seem to recall a point where they made it so that carpets don't block bookshelves from being able to access the enchant table. In other words, we should still be able to get a level 30 enchant even with carpets. This would really help set this room apart. Let's have a look here. Oh, no. Wait, what? I thought you could use carpets now. Aww. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually a little bit disappointed right now. Okay, well, in which case the only other option is to just get, you know, flat out wool blocks and hope that there's, like, nothing underneath here. Let's have ourselves a bit of a look. Oh, no, okay, so we've got just another layer of birch. So then, let's go grab ourselves a bunch of wool and hope that we've got the flowers to colour it purple, because that would look really nice. Ah! Turns out I used all the wool to make carpets so I could get the amended walkways made in the mansion. So it looks like we're gonna have to shear a ton of sheep. The good news is there's plenty of them around. Oh, not these guys again. I'm trying to shear sheep. Alrighty, 16 bits of wool. I think that'll be enough to keep us going. So there we are, purple dye and purple wool. Now we can get this all purplified and it won't affect the enchant table levels. Do you know what? Honestly, the purple carpet has done it. It's finished this place off so well and it's hit the theme on the head, hasn't it? Ah, absolutely fantastic. Right, final thing. Very, very final thing. Do I have the resources to make an ender chest? I mean, we don't have a silk touch pickaxe. That might be the reason I haven't made one yet. But if we're going to make one and place it down in a permanent location, then, you know, sure, why not? We could do that. Ah, we don't have any ender pearls, so we can make ourselves an eye of ender. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to go find ourselves an enderman then, huh? Ah, very good. We've got ourselves an enderman. Wait, is there actually a second one? I think there's a second one way up there. I just need to make a tiny little hole here. And then I should be able to lure those guys over. Come on then, bud. See if I can't get that one as well to come on over. Oh, God. Oh, no, no, no. Come on in. Try me. I would like your ender balls, please. Come on. Yeah! First time rolling. Now, I know. Python breaking a flower pot to then be able to place down an ender chest. Seems like just blasphemy, doesn't it? But we're putting down an ender chest. Surely that's got to be worth it, right? And hey, look at that. It actually adds even more to the particle effect around here. We've now got ender particle effect, the spore blossom particle effect, and the firefly bush particle effect. Ah. It really does look quite good, though, doesn't it? And hey, there's nothing to say that we can't place down the flower pot right there. I mean, we can still, you know, hop on top of the enchant table and enjoy the view out the back here, right? So, yeah, I think this works really, really nicely. So, ladies and gentlemen, there we are. One complete enchant room. Fully featured, fully complete, fully awesome. On that note, it's time to wrap up today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. Drop a like if you've enjoyed today's episode. I'd very much appreciate it. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on my future content. In the meantime, if you guys are interested in any more Minecraft content, I've recently started up a daily Minecraft hardcore streamed series. It is every day from 8 PM BST for a couple of hours. So if you do fancy coming along, being part of the community, then by all means, that is the time to do it. Failing that, if you want to just watch it as a video after the fact, by all means, I'd very much appreciate the support. And I hope you enjoy what is to come on there. For now, though, thank you very much for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you folks in the next one.